everyone for some more Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney here for Nintendo Switch. And we are going to be doing the second part of the second trial here in the case against Machi Dabai. We had to go into a recess because of what transpired in the last episode, which I won't spoil in case you guys didn't watch it, but I would highly recommend doing so. But we are going to go ahead, and our witness today is going to be our mysterious detective, quote-unquote, friend, Darian Crescent, who really hasn't really been very friendly to us at all, but he knows Gavin and all that fun stuff. But before we continue on, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. So without further ado, July 10th, 1:40 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lemura's performance? The reason why she was in that event, and that switch and the flaming guitar, when you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took. Ah, Daddy! Mr. Ray, you believed in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought that I'd make a cooler entrance and say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you undercover? Like Mr. Latus, only shorter, not as well dressed. Oh no, what have you just shot too, Daddy? Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off a while again. Huh? You leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. Huh. Good luck. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machi Tabai off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescent. It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption? Namely that our Diva Divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch? A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection in the case. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind a faintly singed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from my detective friend. Detective Sky. Emma? Let's see, this bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa. Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little device thingy. Right, this. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. Burnt fragments out of the court record found at the crime scene bearing gunpowder residue. Possibly a firecracker? That's all from me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darian Crescent's igniter and set it off. And he walked out the door just like a magician, normally. What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean? I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. I guess. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. July 10th, 1:55 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where's Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. He Darien was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know. Air forehead. Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darien Crescent. Name and occupation, please. Darien Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Governors. Maybe you've heard of us? Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me a word I wouldn't be standing here. The situation's changed, Darien. And don't call me partner. So much for old friends. I see what you're doing, Darien. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial? Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamoure's testimony, if in fact you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. Witness testimony. Darien's rebuttal. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. So you claim Lamoure's testimony was a lie? Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind. You go too far, Darien. Look, all I'm saying is, you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to Detective? Detective Sky? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Don't mind if I do. He didn't waste any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Lamoure's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Cross-examination. Darien's rebuttal. Diva's lying, plain and simple. She got enough to back up her story. She never heard his voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots as if... Here. Well, she may have not have heard gunshots, but she might have heard... this. Objection! Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's a remote-triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? What, do you think Detective Sky works for you? I received a report this morning before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darien as a witness in today's trial, just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been two firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control. You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me. How so? So, you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off, right when two witnesses came walking by? That's right. Darien was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would we know someone was backstage right then? If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear, you get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man? Ugh. How do I explain this? He may not look it, but Darien is a gifted detective. Show any weakness and he's sure to find it. He may not look it, partner? Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through the very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind all the band and staff members were wearing. That's right. We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if that headset wasn't dropped, but placed in whatever was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Air Forehead. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake, we can't say. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove that the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove that thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. That right, Gavin? Indeed. If you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination will be pointless. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set? Yeah, I think. You'd better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through. It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you. Let's continue the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness, your testimony if you would. This isn't gonna be easy. I need some decisive proof, and fast. You ready, kid? 'Cause I am. The shooting took place during the second set? If you're so sure, let's see your proof. Well, how about this? Objection! It seems there was clear proof left behind. Right here in Namura's song. Her song? What exactly is this, device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just use this, and don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part. Part? You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, Namura's voice included. Oh, but what does this prove? According to Namura's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song. Ah, you intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Nah, ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room out on stage? Have you forgotten, Darian? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh, he's sweating. We were all deeply involved in our performance, but Lamara's headset would have picked up on what she heard all the same. Then let's get to analyzing that recording. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Right now. Namara stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot and I'll find the gunshots. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is a track with Namura's vocals. There we go. I did hear something faintly there, yes. Why, it sounded like a gunshot. Well, what? This has to be some kind of mistake. I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means Namura's testimony was true. Gah. Order. So, she was telling the truth about what she heard? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Crescent, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it. But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Weren't 2 bullets fired from this weapon? Namura was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must not have been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again and Mr. Latouche's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent? Once again I am reminded of something. Our performance that day. Your performance? Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Forehead. What is it with today? Problem after problem. Achtung. My hog won't start, my guitar case is busted, my guitar's been burnt to a crisp, and to top it all off, someone's there. And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. It was you, Darian. I thought it was strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well, You what? Prosecutor Gab? What are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Latouche's 45 caliber hand weapon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscared with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Wait, you mean his playing was affected because he hurt himself shooting at the revolver? You're forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crescent? I'm a trained police officer, you know. I've had firearms training. Plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm used to shoot police officers is a 38 caliber weapon, a much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latouche, which suggests there was a struggle between killer and victim. So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean? The thought had occurred to me, yes. Well, does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescent, what I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up ready for action has to say. Hey you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of the evidence is decisive again? You've got a little noise on a tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue miss due to a 45 caliber kickback. I weep for this case, Gavin. I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager, and that's the obvious truth. The witness has a point. Defense's arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescent. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it. Witness testimony. Proof of innocence. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Interesting you say that. Simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Latouche had not been to our country before? According to our records, yes, not even once. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Great, now I need to find a motive. Cross-examination. Proof of innocence. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy, I got no motive. This is that diva's first trip to this country. Could possibly know a manager. Now, you could either do this on this statement or the second statement, but we are going to present this replica.
Objection!
Your Honor, take a look at this. What's that? Looks like candy. It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescent, ever seen this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon? Never seen one that color. It is a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else. Alright, but what does this cocoon replica do in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with the motive for killing Mr. Latouche, does it? It does. Wait, I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon. Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of? Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative for what? Apparently it is most efficacious at treating a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia. Whatever for? If it's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet, if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact. What? There was an incident several years ago where some of these got out on the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware. Intriguing. All this has led to a strict ban on the cocoon's export, one rigidly enforced by Interpol among others. Interpol? Right. The victim, Romain Latouche, was an Interpol agent, Detective Crescent. You insist on referring to him as a manager, but that is misleading. Romain Latouche wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? That what you're trying to say? I'm saying that could well be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was gonna sell it on the black market, make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. Totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony. And with that, we are gonna go ahead and save, and we are gonna stop here. And then next time I see you guys, not only will we hear the rest of, Darian's testimony, but hopefully we can come up with enough evidence to get ourselves a not guilty verdict for Machi, so hope you guys looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.